we exchange this coffee for some wine? Wait, am I supposed to be working right now?
Another morning, just laughing at these clowns in the cars around me. Just saw this Jeep in front of me make the most dramatic maneuver to make a left turn. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're not trailering something, you're not a semi. You don't have this long trailer behind you. You didn't need to do that dramatic right shift and then left shift. Get out of here. Get over yourself. Anyways, so I am navigating my quiet girl era, and that's what I've named it. And I'm still trying to figure it out. I've just been in this weird space for 7 months now, ever since I got this new job that I started in January, which I do love, and it's going very well. But the change in, situation, is just very different. And, I'm naming it my quiet girl era. So the thing is that point where you change jobs and you loved some people at your old job and you're always yeah, we'll stay in touch. But inevitably, maybe you hit the 6-month mark and you're not talking as much. You're not being invited to stuff as much, that's just what happens. And it's sad, but it's just what happens. Now, there were also a couple of people that I've just really needed to distance myself from, that are toxic and stuck in their own toxic cycles, and I've had enough of it. I'm not here for it anymore. I can't listen to your endless relationship drama, the same shit, different week, the same mistakes that you keep making. And disclaimer, I'm not perfect. I'm a fucking human being like the rest of us, but I try to be very conscious of my own decisions and my own impact on the people around me. And the ones that are just stuck in their own toxic cycle, I just can't anymore. I can't. I touched on, in an earlier episode, this one friendship, if you will, relationship that I had, that I've kind of just I want to say abandoned, because I feel like she would think that I abandoned her. I just kind of stopped talking to her. I stopped reaching out. I stopped talking to her. The couple of situations that we had together have ended, so there's no reason for us to get together anymore. And I don't feel great about it, I'll be honest. I do have some guilt about not being there for her, but at the same time, I can't. Your situation is so fucked, it's never going to get better, unfortunately. I mean, I hope that it does. I hope something major changes, but chances are, no. This is the fucked up life that you're going to have for the rest of your life, and that's very unfortunate, but only you can save yourself, and yeah, I'm just not here for it anymore. I can't take on that emotional dumpage. I just can't do it. And the type of person that you can't even have a casual relationship with, because they will immediately bring up whatever stress that they're under, whatever drama is going on in their life, whatever upset they've recently occurred. That's this person. So it's not even I can have a casual conversation with her and just chit chat over, simple things, because inevitably it will be oh, well, I would like to, but this happened, and I can't. So anyways, I'm in my quiet girl era, and there's something else I wanted to talk about. What was it? Traveling. I'm mystified by people who so casually just get on a plane. I am the epitome of a homebody. All right. And this is not a real red light. You don't have to stop at this light. Go through the light. Ugh, you're such an idiot. Anyways, I'm very much a homebody. I will claim that title forever. And I've just been like kind of looking at my homebodiness and just checking in with myself to make sure that it's still like what makes me happy. And it is. Like, I'm mystified by people that can so casually like book a plane trip and get tickets, and the whole process is a mystery to me. I have no idea like how to book a flight, like travel reservations. I mean, yes, I could figure it out, obviously, like step by step. Okay, gotta figure out plane trip, like plane availability. Where am I going? What time do I want to get there? Like what's available, hotel accommodations, rental car, all that shit. Like step by step I could figure it out, obviously. But it's still just this process that seems so insurmountable to me. And people that just like do it all the time, like it's no big deal. Like, oh yeah, like tomorrow I'm going to jump on a plane and we're going to Europe and we're just going to spend like 3 weeks, like going around Europe. Like that is mind-boggling to me. Like, do I want to experience Europe? Yes. Do I want to go and tear up over the ancient ruins that are all over Europe and the United Kingdom and Ireland? Yes. I would fucking love to experience all that old shit. However, I want to experience it by myself without having to get on a fucking plane. Like, I am here for the VR travel experience. When is that going to be a thing? That is what I'm here for. Oh, that poor person walking down the sidewalk looks like she has no idea where she's at. Oh, here we go, Tuesday morning, 8:30 in the morning. And I check in with myself like, okay, do you wish that you actually were traveling? Like, are you jealous of those people? And I'm not so much jealous. I mean, does a part of me wish that I could be so casual and accepting about traveling and going to the airport and dealing with the crowds and the delays and the bullshit? Maybe, but I don't really want to do all that. No. Like, I do want to travel, but I really only want to travel in like a virtual setting. I don't want to get on a plane. The thought of being on a plane where something goes wrong, which seems like it's happening more and more these days. Like, our airline system is so fucked. Can I just put that in there? It's incredibly fucked. Like, our stupid fucking greedy ass airline CEOs are just fucking people left and right. It's incredible. Here, let's give you guys a fucking $1 billion to save your fucking industry, and then a couple years down the road, oh, you fucked it up again, and guess what? You've been cutting corners and safety measures and overworking people and underpaying them and undertraining them, and, now we have doors falling off airplanes. Like, fucking capitalistic bullshit just can really make me angry. So, downtown is popping off today. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. So that's my thoughts on travel. Good morning. It is Thursday, July 11th, I believe. Another drive to work in the morning. It's blessedly cool out this morning, thankfully. I mean, my thermometer says 70, but it feels cooler. We had a bunch of crazy storms roll through the central New York area last night. Pretty much every business and workplace dismissed their employees early so everyone could get home and shelter in place. My work let me out at 3:30. They seemed to panic at 3:15 with what the news was reporting, and they sent an email out we're closing at 3:30, everyone go home, hurry. So there was a little bit of panic, and I haven't looked through the damage reports this morning, but it seems like it was mostly up in the Cicero and Baldwinsville area. I'm not really seeing anything yet where I'm driving through, but that was just a reminder to myself to keep an eye out for shit in the road. So I wanted to say that I am a little proud of myself because, one, I feel like I'm handling summer this year like better than I really ever have, I guess, in my adult life. I mean, sure, I've been kind of in like a fog of depression and anxiety and uncomfortableness for 7 months, which that's my number 2, is I kind of feel like I'm finally getting out of it. But aside from that, heat-wise, that's really what I'm talking about. Not so much like my mental state, which has been kind of fragile, but heat-wise, I feel like my body has acclimated to it better this year than previous adult years. And I don't know why. I haven't really done anything different. But I just haven't been as bothered by the heat, and it has been plenty hot. And like in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, I've got the fan going. I have to have the fan going because it's already hot and stuffy upstairs. And I literally just have I'm standing there naked, as I do, in front of my mirror, putting my makeup on after I do my yoga stretches, of course, and my little morning exercises. And those are important. Self-care, everyone should be stretching in the morning. Like if you take a shower in the morning, your muscles are nice and supple after that. It's easier to stretch. So adults, everyone needs to stretch every day. There's no reason that you have trouble getting up off the floor when you're like 40 years old. I mean, if you're able-bodied, of course. Like, if you're disabled, then that's a whole different story. But if you're able-bodied, you should be still fairly flexible. So, stretch it out. Okay, so I will be standing there naked, putting my makeup on, and then I will put on, like, bra and panties, pick out my outfit, but then I don't put it on because it's too fucking hot to get dressed up there. So I bring everything downstairs and I get dressed in my kitchen. And it's annoying, it's freaking annoying. And yes, I'm uncomfortable, but it hasn't been making me angry the way that it normally does. Like I said, I'm not sure what the shift is. Like maybe just because I'm getting older. I don't know. And I still have plenty of moments where I like stand up and I get lightheaded, which is annoying, and that's been a constant thing too. Every year of my life in the summer is if the temperature's above like 70, chances are I stand up, I'll get lightheaded. Like pretty hardcore, where I have to like hold on to something and I see like spots, and my vision goes a little black. And that happens regardless of how hydrated I am, if I've got food in my stomach, if I've got caffeine in my system, doesn't matter. And perhaps it has something to do with my thyroid disease, probably, because I think that's kind of where it started from, was back with my little 12-year-old self when I first got diagnosed. So I don't know. But anyways, I am grateful that this summer hasn't been as awful physically for me as it usually is. And like sun tanning wise, I'm pretty careful. I do lay out in the sun, but like in the beginning of the season, I'll lay out for just 10 minutes, get a little base going, and then I'll come back inside. And I do that a couple times to kind of build the base up before I go out longer. And like longer, I mean half hour, 45 minutes maybe, and that's only if the sun isn't blaring down, hot as fuck, boiling my skin off. Like if I start to feel too hot, start to feel like I'm really burning, I go inside. I'm not one to like, let me just get lobster red and then it'll turn into a great tan. No, it's terrible for you. And, people shouldn't be out tanning at all, really. But I do like to get a little bit of a tan, but I'm careful about it. I don't want to like get it right away. I build it. That's the key, is you got to slowly build it. So I really enjoyed sitting out on my porch with a good book. And that's another thing that I feel good about, is that I'm finally reading again. And this does happen in the summer, and I think I forget about it, and I kind of panic in the beginning of the summer, like, oh my god, I haven't been able to read a book, my Goodreads, challenge is suffering, because I'm a fucking nerd. And then, come July, like I'm really getting into it, and now I'm like 1, maybe even 2 books ahead of my reading challenge, go me, right? Like, I'm winning right now and life is good. So, but touching on the mental health aspect, I feel like I'm coming up out of the weird, uncomfortable space that I was in. I could be Delulu, but that's how I feel. I feel better, which is great. But it also could be just because I'm ovulating, and the hormones are helping me out right now. So let's give it a week and see if I crash again. That might happen. So yeah, I don't know. We're all out here. We're all struggling. Everything's fucking expensive as hell. There's so many things to be anxious about, but we have to find the light, guys. Remember that. We have to find the light. Pop culture news-wise, I don't think there's really anything to report. Regarding Summer House, I am curious about how Lindsay is handling being at the house with her ex, but also being pregnant and unable to drink. However, I know Carl was at one point trying to develop a no alcohol version of Loverboy. Is that a thing now? Have they developed that? Is that on the market? And if so, like, that kind of makes it even more awkward. Like, your ex handing you the drink that he developed, that you guys had so many problems with him getting into, And also, I think it feels like Lindsay, from what I have witnessed, seems like she very much had here comes an ambulance all of a sudden whipping around the corner. Hello. Weird. Seems like she had a drinking problem. Like too much of a habit, a little bit of alcoholism going on there. So it's got to be weird. Like, you're pregnant, you're in this house, this party house, everyone else is drinking. You can't drink, you want to drink, but you're pregnant and you're so grateful to be pregnant because that was everything you were all obsessed about. This woman is delusional. Like, she is scary in the way of how obsessed she was with, like, getting married and having a baby. And she just skipped the marriage part and is having a baby. I feel like she's a train wreck. So it'll be interesting to see how this summer goes when we finally get to view it in, March. God damn it. Hi, cowies. I love pretty cowies in the morning. They're so precious. If you're still hanging on and listening to this drivel, then thank you. You're amazing. And what else? I've been kind of looking through. I want to give a shout out to Hannah Berner. Like, she is having such a moment. She had a flurry of shit happen. Like, the girl is rising like a fucking hot air balloon. Her Netflix show came out. She was on the late night show. What's it called? Jimmy Fallon. She's on Fallon. She's on a bunch of podcasts. She got interviewed by Call Her Daddy. She got interviewed by Barbara Corcoran, which I thought was very interesting. I actually want to maybe listen to that one. I'm not so much into Hannah when she's by herself, being interviewed on someone else's podcast. She is funny, but it doesn't vibe the same like when she's not with Paige. Like the two of them, their chemistry, and Paige's reaction to whatever comes out of Hannah's mouth is like such a large part of why I listen. So good for her. So, the latest episode of The Kardashians, I have watched 3/4 of it so far, and I do want to say that I loved their outfits for the season premiere. They had kind of like a desert theme, from what I gathered, kind of camel-colored outfits. I thought they all looked fabulous. They did cover that in this past episode, so I think this episode was around, they already did their Christmas, so they must be January, February of this year was when this particular episode was recorded. Did love their outfits for the advertisement for the new season, whatever that's called. I can't think of it at the moment. And also, like, this whole episode, from what I've seen so far, is a lot of them just, like, making fun of each other, which I'm totally here for. There's a lightness to it. Sorry, I'm just spritzing my plants. They needed some water. Chris had her hysterectomy, and Chloe and Kim showed up and gave her a cake. And then Courtney came in after the fact and, like, tried to claim everything, as she does. Courtney was getting anxious about going to Australia with the baby to be with her husband while he's on tour. And my thought is that, like, does Travis really want you there in Australia? You know, like, I feel like he's like, ugh, this woman won't fucking leave me alone. Like, she follows me around the fucking globe. And Courtney's only doing it because she's insecure, and she's probably worried about him, like, getting into some trouble, maybe cheating on her. You know, I mean, of course, she makes the claim of, like, we're a family, we've always got to be together. And Travis is probably like, oh, this fucking bitch won't leave me alone. So, I'm sorry. I don't think I would want to go across the globe with an infant. Like, that seems like a nightmare, even if the baby is still in the easy phase, quote unquote, where they're mostly sleeping. Who wants to get on a fucking long-ass plane ride and go across the country and then, like, you know, go to shows? I would assume she'd probably go to, like, every fucking show. She's keeping an eye on him because she's insecure. I mean, she was with Scott for way too long, so understandably, she's insecure about cheating because he did nothing but cheat on her while they were together. So I get it. But at the same time, you made this bed, you have to sleep in it. No pun intended. And Travis probably wants some fucking space from you, okay? I don't see this relationship going on forever, all right? I give it 2 more years. That's my prediction. And I think that the novelty will wear off and they will break up. That's my prediction. So, other than that, I'm at the part where Kim is meeting up with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, which I haven't really been following that case. I understand that she helped in getting her mother murdered because her mother abused her for so long. But true crime stuff like that has never interested me. Like, I just don't care. And then from what I've seen, Gypsy Rose is estranged from her husband, but she's pregnant. So awkward. But yeah, I don't really fucking care about that. And I'm waiting for the part where Kim supposedly, like, chopped off part of her finger. What happened there? How did she do that? So maybe I'll have another update in next week's episode. But, yeah, I mean, this season is kind of what it is. It's not been super exciting. So I guess that's it for now. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to end this podcast because I've done more than enough rambling. If you've hung in for this long, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And I've got to do the disclaimer of, if you are loving this episode or this podcast in general, please like and subscribe and leave me all the reviews, yada, yada, yada. Sorry, it's just Friday night and I'm tired. So I'm going to go relax, have another glass of bourbon, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Leave me comments, reviews, likes. I would love you and appreciate you if you do. And check out the articles that I've got put up on my Substack. My Substack's like half podcast and half articles, posts, I guess, if you will. And I will check you guys on the next one. Thank you for listening.